All right, we are now looking at 1.3.3, declaring variables in Java. So creating a variable is also called declaring a variable. When we create or declare a primitive variable, Java sets aside enough memory in bits for that primitive type and associate that memory location with the name you use. So I will let you read that part. This is not super imperative to being able to actually do this. So when we declare or create a variable, we specify the type, leave at least one space, and then the name for the variable, and end the line with a semicolon. So remember, yesterday we talked about the syntax being very, very important here. So we have to be sure to follow this procedure. So we use a keyword of int for integer, double for a floating number, and a boolean for a boolean value, which is going to be true or false. So here's an example of how we declare a variable called score. So score is going to be an int. So we literally say int score semicolon. After we declare the variable, you can give it a value like the one below. So we have an integer variable that we're going to be calling score. We are now setting the value of score to be 4. Just like with JavaScript, you can do this all in one line. So we can set an initial variable, we can set an initial value for the variable in the variable declaration. So here's how we do that, all in one line. We're creating an int called score. The value is going to be 4. Let's see, when we're printing variables, we did this last year too, we can use the string concatenation operator of a plus to add them to another string inside of a system.out.print. Just like with JavaScript, do not put variables inside of quotes or it will be a string literal and print out whatever is in quotes. It won't give you the value of the score, of the variable. Okay, so let's go ahead and look at this example down here. So a few things. Remember, we have our class is called test2. Here is our main method right inside of our class. In our main method, we have initialized a int called score. So notice on all of the variable types, and these are primitive variable types, the Java keyword is a blue color. So it's going to be a different color. So now we've initialized our score to be the value of 0. So we are now going to print out our string literal of the score is, and then we're going to put in the value of score, which is 0. So if I save and run this, the first line that's printed out should say the score is 0. So you can follow along and do that for yours. Then I think it says try adding quotes to variables and removing spaces. So basically anytime that we have a coding exercise, this is the chance for you when you're like, I wonder what happens if. Play around with it right here and see what happens. That's how you're going to start making connections to know when you're coding if it's going to work or not work, what kind of errors it's going to give. So play around in this first coding exercise, do the other exercises to check for understandings, and then I'll be back with 1.3.4.